not only did you deal with some tech gremlins, and we'll talk about some of the coolness you and D'Lo pulled off here shortly. You did originally you were on like maybe one or two panels, and then as you took on the role of the second this year, I mean, when I say took it on, you really stepped in and tried to do things. Every once in a while, you're like, "Hey, man, I don't know if you saw it. I hope you don't mind. I slid myself on this panel." I'm like, "Sure, man. That's the way to do." So you did 5 panels this year?
I did 5 panels. One I definitely just slipped myself in without talking to anybody, but all the rest of them I okayed it. So or actually one of them actually a couple of them you tossed me on without even mentioning to me. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
I know where you I knew that would be your response. You know, I'm a
But
potato.
yeah, I think the biggest surprise was I finally was in a big room for the first time.
Why were you in a big room for the first
I
time?
was in a big room because a guest got tossed onto the panel, Matt Dinniman, whom I've started reading his books, and I'll talk about that on another episode when we go a bit more in depth. But
For the audience, Matt Dinniman writes Dungeon Crawler Carl, which
yep,
is such a huge geek cultural phenomenon that the biggest guest at our con, if his name comes up, they're like, or even if it doesn't come up, they're like, "Oh man, have you been reading Dungeon Crawler Carl?" It is pervasive through all levels of pop culture right now. And
there,
Joe got to sit on the table with him.
yeah, and there were a
Yay.
ton of cosplays of Carl, of Dungeon Crawl Carl, around the con, and I walk up, and as I'm passing them, I just play Carl, and every single time, they responded with glurp glurp, which is from the book, but I wasn't expecting literally every single time for them to say glurp glurp, but that was the go-to response for the like 8 different Carls that I said Carl to
Staying in
every single
character.
time. Yep.
Yeah.
And for those who are unfamiliar with Dungeon Crawler Carl, what he dresses like is so half the people had the pink Crocs on, half had Hobbit feet on because he's shoeless for most of the book, or at least I've read the first 2, and I'm started the third one, and so he's got that. He's got boxers that are white with the red hearts on them, and then he's got a jacket, and then half of the ones that I saw also had a stuffed cat on their shoulder because he has a cat companion. And so yeah, it's like very obvious that you're Dungeon Crawler Carl, because why else are you running around in boxers? And so, but
Because it's Dragon Con.
because it's
You can't.
I mean,
No, you're not wrong.
You're not
sir.
wrong.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, no, it was a ton of fun. And just a blast hopping on the different panels, not knowing what to expect. Like the one of the ones that I put myself on is your favorite anime character going to jail?
Oh yeah.
And I tossed myself on that, not realizing that the other, like almost every other person on the panel, was either an attorney or a police officer. So we had one police officer, and we had 3 attorneys, and then there was me and Stoner Gump at the end. And and Stoner Gump, he the whole time he was like, I don't know what's going on, but he had fun with it. But it was clear that he was just like, I don't know what's going on with this panel, but let's do this. So, but the Supreme Attorney, she got the audience all kinds of riled up because she just played devil's advocate the entire time, intentionally to rile up the audience. And so we had a lot of fun with that panel. It was a ton of fun. And then of course I was on lights, camera, bleepity bleep with Tyra, and that was a fantastic panel talking about getting started into streaming and getting comfortable with it and kind of overcoming any anxiety that you have at the beginning of that process, of that journey, and just, just do it. Don't let
So-
don't let don't let your misconceptions stop you, or your anxiety stop you. Just get streaming.
And I had just so many teachers come up to me afterwards. So much so that I'm putting in a panel for next year called what am I going to call it? I already named it. I can't find it, but teaching in digital. Like, what do you do when you're teaching in digital?
That sounds like a course.
Oh,
we should
yeah.
build. It'd be
Teachers
awesome
gone
together.
digital. That's it. Teachers gone digital.
Yeah, there were a lot of teachers in the audience that were up asking questions and whatnot about streaming their classes.
Yes.
Oh,
So
that's, you never know what kind of audience you're going to pull. But Tyra, that absolutely sounds like a class we need to build for Be Awesome Together to sell. Because I think you've got a ton of information to share on that.